Here's something we don't like to admit. The human brain isn't built to understand reality. It's built to survive it. And to survive, it does one thing better than anything else. It finds patterns. Sometimes those patterns save us. Sometimes they send us down the wrong road. And sometimes they get sold back to us as secrets. This isn't really a story about numbers. It's a story about why we want them to mean something. Hi, I'm Simon Paul Bennett, and you're watching The Nature's Code. By now, you've probably seen it. Videos, posts, podcasts. The idea that the numbers 3, 6, and 9 aren't just numbers, but keys. Keys to energy, keys to vibration, keys to how the universe really works. And almost every time this idea shows up, one name gets pulled into it: Nikola Tesla. And honestly, I get it. Tesla feels like the kind of person who was in on something everyone else missed. But that's where things start to go sideways. Because when someone's real work is extraordinary, people start filling in the gaps. Not with evidence, with imagination. Let's slow this down. Tesla wasn't chasing hidden meanings. He wasn't decoding the universe through symbols. He was obsessed with systems that worked. Efficiency, resonance, repeatability. If something couldn't be tested, measured, and rebuilt by someone else, it didn't matter how beautiful it sounded. Tesla cared about results. And that matters because there's a line most people miss. There's a difference between noticing a pattern and declaring a law. Most people blur that line. Tesla didn't. Here's the uncomfortable part. There is no Tesla paper on 369, no equations, no formal theory. What we have are stories, hotel rooms divisible by 3, walking habits, personal rituals. That's it, human behavior. But somewhere along the way, the internet did what it always does. It started with the conclusion, this must mean something, and worked backward. Habits became hints, hints became theories, theories became hidden knowledge. That's not science, that's storytelling with a lab coat on. Here's a simple test. A real law predicts something before it happens.
Maria remains consistent. We expect landfall near the coast by midnight, moving directly.
Gravity predicts motion. Electric fields predict behavior. 3, 6, and 9, they don't predict anything. They only make sense after you already believe them. And here's the catch. Anything that explains everything usually explains nothing. Patterns feel smart. Laws actually work. And those two things aren't the same. Once the 369 idea lands, the story almost always expands. Fibonacci, sacred geometry, vortex math, consciousness. Each step feels deeper, more cosmic, more exclusive. But notice what never shows up. Predictions, error margins, independent verification. These ideas don't survive because they're tested. They survive because you can't pin them down. And anything you can't test can't technically be wrong. That's not depth, that's insulation. Let me ask you something. When something feels profound, do you actually check whether it's true? Or do you just go with it because it sounds like it should be? Here's what this is really about. Attention. The system we live in doesn't reward accuracy. It rewards retention. Mystery keeps people watching. Certainty keeps people loyal. Truth? Truth is slower. Truth makes fewer promises. Truth doesn't hold your hand, so it tends to get pushed to the margins. That's just how the game is played. Most people don't fear being wrong. They fear being alone while they're right. Let that sit. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. If you were in Tesla's place, not as a legend, not as a genius, but as a human being, knowing that choosing truth would cost you money, stability, recognition, and maybe even your sanity, would you still make the same choice? Or is that where most of us blink? Tesla didn't leave us secrets. He left us infrastructure. Systems that work whether you believe in them or not. Alternating current doesn't care how you feel. It either delivers power or it doesn't. That was Tesla's world. No mysticism, no symbolism, just function. And honestly, that makes his real legacy far more impressive than any myth ever could. Patterns aren't dangerous. Replacing testing with belief is. Because once belief feels good enough, curiosity checks out. And systems don't need to silence people who stop asking questions. They just let them talk. The universe does follow rules, but it doesn't whisper them to us in secrets. And it doesn't reveal them to people who just want to feel special. And whatever system decides which ideas spread and which quietly disappear, it's still watching, still selecting, still shaping what you accept as truth. The real question is, what are you calling a law just because it feels meaningful?